what I'm going to do is I will share my screen. I will mute everybody now. Cool. And I'm actually also going to turn off the video just for some better. Cool. All right. I can't see the recording button going. Bless, have you started the recording? Can you just let me know in the chat box, please, so I don't start talking and it's not on the recording? Oh, yep, it's on. Cool. I can see that now. Beautiful. Okay. Welcome, everybody. So we've got people from all over the globe on the call, which is super exciting. And what we're going to talk about today is what I call the magical money multipliers. So I'm going to go through some, for a lot of people, unexpected strategies that will boost your business bottom line. And in fact, just your bottom line, even if you're not in business. And that's important because, we want to feel like money is flowing smoothly, easily, and consistency, that it's there when you need it without having to worry about it, so that you can stop focusing on money and actually just focus on whatever it is you do and you choose to spend your time on. And money can then just be a beautiful byproduct of what it is you do. So when I was letting people know about this webinar today, I was using the analogy of a river flowing downstream. So, imagine that you roll up at this beautiful river of abundance, this river of your money stream, and you decide that you want some of that. And you decide on your bucket being your vehicle, your business, whatever means you have of bringing that money into your life. And you start, making trips to the river, and you choose just the right bucket, and you put so much effort into choosing the bucket, making sure it has all the right features, the right handle, it's made, of the right material, that all of that sort of thing. But every time you get home at the end of the day, you realize there's just not enough water in that bucket. And so you try to make it easier to get the water out of the river. You might build some infrastructure, a bridge or a boardwalk, and you maybe take more trips, and maybe you get multiple buckets going because, that's what some of us do. But at the end of each day, you get home and there's just not enough. And you're getting tired and frustrated, and then you think, well, maybe it's my bucket, maybe it's me, maybe it's just not meant to be. And then imagine that one day you actually take a trip upstream from where you've been getting water out of that river, and you realize that there's a bunch of rocks that are just basically blocking the flow and slowing it all down to just a trickle, which makes it so difficult for you to get enough water out of that stream. And you realize that you can put a little bit of effort into moving those rocks and allow the stream to flow so much easier. And then your bucket will be full. So this is how a lot of us operate. We get busy in business, and this is something where I get on a bit of a rant. We get busy building a business. We get busy deciding how we're going to get the water out of the river, but we don't spend enough time, and most people don't do it until they're quite a bit down the track, actually going, hang on, is something blocking my flow? Can I do something to actually increase that flow of abundance, that flow of money into my life, so that it's easier and more effortless? And then, you know what? If you can get that happening, it actually doesn't matter what bucket you use. It can even have holes in it, because if the bucket's full, when you take the water out, you'll still have plenty left by the time you tip it out on the other end. So this is how people operate. They're so fixated on the bucket that they don't look at what's stemming the stream upflow, and they're afraid, or they don't even think to look. And the thing is that stuff is actually easier than you think to remove. It's easier than people think to get the flow going. And once you do, then you can actually just be joyful and enjoy your bucket, your vehicle, and enjoy that river of abundance flowing to you. So when you don't I'm just going to touch on 5 kind of main things that I can fit into the time we have together. And when you don't even have those as a strategy you utilize, then you just can't seem to control how to attract money to you consistently. Sometimes you feel like there's a bit of flow going, then it suddenly dries up and you can't work out why. Then you start worrying, which just makes it worse. And it's just, you know, this crazy roller coaster where when it is flowing, you kind of think it's a fluke. And when it's not flowing, you kind of think, here we go again, you know, what is it? And it's exhausting and it's disheartening and it's unnecessary. So when you get just these 5 little things that I'm going to touch on today in place as a consistent strategy that you keep front of mind, then you will get to a place where you know that there's always more coming and that you have everything that you need. It's just about incorporating some really simple everyday habits that build momentum and getting into a more consistent way of changing your consciousness, changing the way that you approach things so that you know that you are doing the right things and you can go and just focus on the fun stuff rather than worrying about money. And before long, you'll actually then start seeing some results, which builds your faith. And the more you build your faith, the more you'll do those things that helped, and it gathers momentum. And then your river will be flowing freely. And that's a really beautiful thing, and that's where we want to get you to. Okay, so just very briefly about me. A lot of you know me, some of you don't. So I call myself an effectologist. I'm an infinite possibilities trainer, so that's a program that I absolutely love, that I trained in with Mike Dooley over in the US, and I'm part of, you know, his team that assists in putting on conferences, and I've spoken on that stage, which is beautiful, and I'm part of that gorgeous community. And that is all about understanding that our thoughts become things. I'm also a hypnotherapist and a timeline practitioner, which means that I'm an expert in how the unconscious mind works. And the unconscious is responsible for up to 98% of what's going on in your life. So you really want to get a handle on that. Otherwise, you're only controlling 2% of the outcomes in your life. And then no wonder you feel like none of it is in your control. So the key really is to start to understand how to tap into that unconscious superpower, because your unconscious is an incredibly powerful, knowledgeable vehicle that taps you into the collective unconscious, into the universal mind. And so all the answers, all the solutions, everything you need is actually already available to you. But your unconscious is programmed by your conscious. So what I'm all about is I'm about conscious evolution, consciously evolving yourself to retrain your consciousness, your way of thinking, your way of being, in fact, so that you can upgrade your life, so that you can live life on purpose. So no matter where you're at, whether your life is pretty good already and you just want more of the good stuff, or whether you're going through a hard time and you really need to sort that out, you know, these are the strategies that are going to take you to the next level. But it is about a conscious evolution so that you can create purpose, prosperity, and momentum in your life. And ultimately, out of that drops all the things we say we want, which is more money, more time, more joy. Now, I'm also a finance advisor, which comes in really handy because I talk a lot about money, and money likes to be well taken care of. So one thing I'm really big on is actually also having the practical strategies in place. But it does all start from the inside out. It's about joyful, abundant living. And I want to support people with all the tools that you need to move to the next level and just keep on going. So I want to give you a set of go-to tools so that your success is inevitable. So generally I work mainly with women, but I love enlightened men like our gorgeous Mark, who's on the call. And I like the ones who are ready to make great money, kick ass, and change the world. And by change the world, I don't necessarily mean go out there and, you know, be the next Elon Musk, but you change the world just by shifting your consciousness. You change the world, but just by accepting that abundance is your natural God-given birthright, and that there's just a few little tweaks you can make in retraining your consciousness that will shift everything. That you are the vehicle and you have access to the vehicle. In my one-on-one work as a hypnotherapist, I do a bit more targeted work where I actually help people smash through the blocks and the limiting beliefs that are holding them back. And, you know, as time goes on, that'll become a little bit more restrictive, but I'm still available for one-on-one work. So if that's something you want to look at any stage, just reach out to me and we can have a chat about it. So in a nutshell, that's me. That's what I'm all about. And that is the gorgeous Mike Dooley. There's a picture of me when I won a national award in our finance business, and a couple of fun pics of, Dancing with the Stars competition that I got roped into doing. And I used to do a lot of flying trapeze and circus arts, which is heaps of fun. Okay, let's talk about you a little bit. So, magical money multipliers and so on. So you decided to come on this call. So this is the perfect call for you to be on if you want to feel more confident and in control of your money. If you want to have less worry and just know that the money is there when you need it, and start to enjoy some consistency. And that's important, because if you can start to feel relaxed, knowing that the money is there when you need it without having to worry about it, then you stop feeling like a powerless victim, and you do start living life on purpose. You do start consciously evolving and changing and retraining your own consciousness, so that you then tap into that incredible power you have access to through your unconscious mind. When you don't get this stuff happening, it just seems like you can't control how and when you manifest money in particular, but all sorts of things. You can get the car parks, but you can't get the great money. You can attract, other stuff like relationships or just the right person to help you solve a problem. But money seems to be like the exception to the rule. And that's really frustrating, because you think, hang on, if it's law of attraction and it's a universal law, then what's going on with me and money? How is it that it doesn't work for you? So yeah, sometimes you feel like you've got it all under control, and other times you feel like you're totally stuck and you can't see a way out. And it just gets so bloody frustrating. But when you get this stuff under control, you always have what you need. Even as money comes and goes, and there's a bit of a natural ebb and flow, you have the confidence, you have that inner knowing, and that beautiful peace of mind. And you can incorporate simple everyday habits that get stronger and stronger over time as you start seeing results, and that helps you keep implementing them, because it's just little things that make a big difference. It is not about some big, weird, unusual thing you have to do. It's just little tweaks that you need to practice awareness of, first of all, and then just implement over and over again. And that's what's going to help you build momentum, so that you're doing the right things. Go focus on the fun stuff, not be worrying about money. And like I said, once you start seeing some results, that actually builds your faith. And that is when you start gathering momentum at a really rapid rate. Okay, so let's get into it. So if all of that resonated with you, you're on the right call. If you're going, I don't know what she's talking about, I don't know, you've ended up on the wrong call, and it's okay if you go. Let's get into it. So I just want to spend as much time as possible on these 5 simple things, but explain them so that you understand them at a deep enough level that you can integrate them and start to really integrate them into your being. So let's get into it. Number 1, stop focusing on money. So why do I say that? All right. So when you're in a situation where money is an issue and you're feeling frustrated about it, you're having those kinds of emotions, frustration, just a bit of fear, usually worry, or sometimes a lot of fear. It's all the negative emotions. Now, emotions are energy in motion. Emotions are magnetic, and we live in a vibrational universe, and you are an electromagnetic being, and it's the magnetism that attracts. So when you're feeling negative about a topic such as money, or anything for that matter, your electromagnetic signature is a match to the lack of money. And this is the bit that most people just don't understand. They go, but I'm asking the universe for money. I'm asking the universe for money. And they're focusing on money, which there's not enough of in their life. And so it just gets worse. So when you're not feeling good about money, it's dragging down your vibration, and it actually stops you from attracting more. In fact, I'll rephrase that. it's not that it stops you from attracting more. It's that you're not a match to attracting money. What you are a match to is the lack of money. What you are a match to is things that are frustrating, things that make you feel powerless, things that make you feel fearful and worried. And so what usually then happens is it snowballs and you get one thing after another after another. So when money is an issue, the trick is to catch yourself as early as possible. And this takes practice, right? This just takes practice, because you might be in a habit where you focus on the lack of money, you worry about it, you lie in bed at night crunching numbers. I used to be like that. And you just have to train yourself to go, okay, stop right now. And you find something else altogether to focus on, something that is a completely different subject. So you need to stop focusing on money when money is an issue. Because the thing is this, that money is about the vibration of abundance. So you don't need to focus on money to attract money. You need to be focusing on abundance. But when you're feeling negative about money, you're putting out a specific electromagnetic signature that says, not enough. There's a lack of money. There's a lack of money. I'm frustrated. I desperately want more. And there's a difference between asking the universe for what you want and being an electromagnetic match to it. So the law of attraction doesn't discriminate. It doesn't edit for you. It's not your mum that says, oh, look, I know what you really want. So let's not say, okay, I want a packet of chocolate biscuits. I realize that what you actually need is some good nutrition and maybe some mineral supplements, and that'll actually balance your sugar cravings. You know, a mum will do that for you. The universe won't. It will match what you're resonating at. And when you're resonating lack, it will give you more. It's totally impartial. It is law. It is quantum physics. It is just a universal law, and you are not the exception. And just because you think you're asking for money, or because you are asking for money at a conscious level, asking for more money, doesn't mean that you are an electromagnetic match to it. So that is the difference. You know, people think, I just have to ask and it comes. No, you actually have to be the person who is an electromagnetic match to the outcome and the experience that you desire. So if money is an issue, then you're not being a match. Then just stop focusing on money. Okay, I think I've made my point. I will move on. Number 2. So this is a really important thing to get your head around. And I touched on it a little bit already in point number 1. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Okay, so you want to get off the topic and on the vibration. And what I mean by that is, once again, you're an electromagnetic being, so it has nothing to do with the topic, and it has everything to do with where you are vibrating, with the electromagnetic signature you're putting out, which will resonate out through the quantum field and find the matching components and start drawing them into your experience. So strategy number 1 was stop focusing on money. And then the question would usually be, well, what do you want me to focus on instead? And the answer is anything else, for starters, but ideally something that you feel at the very least neutral about, and at the very best positive and abundant about. So you want to get off the topic of money and try to attract more money, because that's the hard road. That's you trying to fight the momentum you already have going on that vibration. That's you trying to turn something around that's already got so much speed and momentum behind it. I use the analogy of the merry-go-round, you know, they used to have on kids' playgrounds, which I think are illegal now because somebody might get hurt. And I think we did used to get hurt quite a lot on them. So, you know, you'd get on it and you'd start turning and spinning, and maybe your friends would come and give you a little hand and get you spinning even faster. And when it got fast enough, you couldn't get off and nobody else could get on. And what you also couldn't do is you couldn't suddenly stop it and spin it the other way. You had to kind of let it, discharge its momentum. You had to let it run its course. So when money is an issue, you think of it as you're on one of those merry-go-rounds. You've been stressing, worrying, fearful, obsessing about money, and you've got a lot of momentum going. So don't make it hard for yourself by trying to stop that and spin it the other way. It's actually not possible. You can't just flip a vibration just like that. But what you can do is you can actually get on a different topic and get the vibration you want going on that. So you can get another merry-go-round spinning in the direction that you do want to go. So you want to get off the topic of money, because that's got a lot of momentum and that's the hard way of doing it. And you want to get on the vibration of abundance. And that's really easy. It's actually really easy because there are so many things in your life that you can be grateful for, that you have an abundance of. Even if it's just, hey, I have all this oxygen to breathe. There are so many things that you will have no resistance around. There's an abundance of weather, all types of weather, lovely weather, sun shining that allows the seeds in the plants to grow, rainfall that allows the plants to get nourishment and water to keep propagating. There's an abundance of all sorts of wonderful things. Okay, Renee, watch the replay later. I'll see you. So there are lots of things where you can get on the vibration of abundance. And when you become an electromagnetic match to that, money automatically falls under that umbrella. So you don't have to harp on about the topic of money and keep asking the universe and demanding to have more money. You can actually just get on the vibration of abundance, and just like magic, money will come as a result of that. So this stuff is actually so easy that most people skip it. They can't get their head around the fact that it can be that easy. Okay, let's move on to number 3. So, yeah, let's move on to number 3 because we do have a time limit. So, number 3 is stop taking score. So, most people, they decide that this is how much money I'd like, and then they keep looking at this is how much money I have, or even worse, these are the bills I have, these are the parking fines I got this week, and all that sort of thing. But every time you do that, you actually focus vibrationally on what you already have. And so then that is what you're a match to, and that is what you attract more of. So this is where I talk about goal setting a lot. And I do vision booking and vision boarding with people, where I get them to forget about goal setting for a while and actually create a vision that you can become an electromagnetic match to, a vision where you can connect with that possibility out in the quantum field, and then work on simply allowing yourself to be that person who is a match to that experience. The problem with old-fashioned style goal setting, SMART goals and all of that, there are elements of that that are very powerful, such as, your programming your reticular activating system and all that sort of thing. But one of the main issues with the old-fashioned style of goal setting is that you're constantly checking. You're constantly checking. And we are human, right? And when we check and we're not where we want to be yet, we start feeling disheartened, and we start letting that train our vibration. So we focus on what we have right now. And the moment we do that, we're an electromagnetic match to that. And if what we have right now is not enough, then you become an electromagnetic match to not enough, and that's what you get more of. So it's Groundhog Day, right? It's just the same thing over and over and over again, because we're all constantly taking score, so we get more of the same. So if you find that you're looking at your money situation and you're happy with it and you like it, awesome. Celebrate it, do a happy dance, go nuts, get into Facebook groups where people will love and support you and be happy for you. Tell them all about it, amp up that vibration and celebrate the hell out of it. But if you're looking at what's going on right now and you go, ooh, I don't want more of that, then be smart enough, be aware enough to know that if you continue to focus on that, you will just keep attracting more of it. and understand that this is a vibrational universe and you are constantly creating. It's about conscious evolution. It is about tapping into the quantum field and realizing that you are your life and you're doing it in every single moment. So whatever it is you're focusing on right now is what you're creating and attracting more of into your experience. So stop taking score all the time, because chances are that if you're not where you want to be just yet, it's going to bring your vibration down and you'll start focusing on feeling, you'll start generating feelings of fear, lack, worry, and all of those things, which means that you'll just keep creating that situation that matches that vibration over and over again. Okay, number 4. This is a really, really big one that a lot of people who do understand law of attraction and maybe even understand everything I've already talked about miss. So what do I mean by get congruent? Okay, your emotions need to match your thoughts, for starters, because you are an electromagnetic being. So you have electrical thought energy, which connects you to the quantum event, to the possibility of that experience out in the quantum field. And then you have magnetic heart energy, your emotions, which then attracts it into your experience. And when those two match, then you're sending out a clear and congruent signal. So that's why a lot of people who will recite affirmations over and over again have no result. They get no results because they're just paying lip service to and saying something over and over again. See you, Julie. That's fine. Watch the recording after. So a lot of people will recite affirmations over and over again, but inside they're feeling fearful and worried that they won't get that thing. So I just want to quickly teach you one very simple technique for matching those two. I call it the voice location technique. So we all have what I call our voice of truth. And that is when you say something to yourself that you know to be an absolute truth. So what I want you to do, just where you are and inside your head, you don't have to do it out loud, although you can if you want. Just say your name. Say your name to yourself. So my name is Miriam. My name is Miriam. And I want you, as you're saying that, to notice where you perceive that to be located in relation to your body. So it might be just on the outside of you, it might be a little bit above you, and maybe even off to the side or out in front. So notice the location and kind of, mark it with an imaginary X. And then I want you to keep saying it. My name is, and your name. And also notice the tone of it. Notice the timbre of it. Notice the kind of depth of it. Notice all those little textural qualities of your voice. And now pick whatever affirmation you might use often. And if you don't have one, you can steal mine, which is everything is always working out for me. So everything is always working out for me. And as you say that, notice that it's located somewhere quite different. And what I want you to do as you're saying it is imagine that you have like an imaginary mouse, like a computer mouse, and that you click on it and drag it over to where you mark that X and drop it in there as you keep reciting it. And you'll notice that it shifts. So what you've just done is you've actually created congruence between that affirmation and how you resonate with your voice of truth. And most people, when they do that, really notice a marked difference. And so that just goes to show that you're saying that affirmation, but you're not really believing it. And you can tell by something as simple as that little technique that I showed you. So if you do recite affirmations, do that before you start. Find your voice of truth, locate it, grab the affirmation, drag it into that spot, and then stay with it. Now, emotions are really the key. I'm really, really big on emotions because they're it's really cool, isn't it, Judy? And you would definitely love it as a musician. So, sorry, where was I? I can't multitask. So feel good first, right? Emotions are the key. Emotions are fabulous because emotions let you know exactly where you're resonating at the moment. And when you're feeling good, what naturally follows is positive thoughts. it's very hard to feel great and start thinking negative. So if you can let your emotions be the thing that leads the way, it's easy, because it's so much easier to know how you're feeling at any given moment than to police what you are thinking. We have up to 80,000 thoughts a day. I can't be bothered keeping track of all of those, but it's easy for me to take note of and keep track of my emotional state. And it's actually also easy for me to control and set the tone of my emotional state for the day. So it's all about the feeling. You want to get all parts of you congruent. And that also translate and extends to the words you speak. Because a lot of people will do the affirmations, will do the high vibing stuff, you know, they understand that it's about raising your vibration, and they do all of those things, but then their words don't match. And your words are actually your thoughts spoken out loud. So they carry even more weight. So make sure that you really take note of the things you say. You know, maybe just if you've got a piece of paper, jot down 1 or 2 things that you know you've said before about money that are not in alignment with having the effortless flow of money that you want in your life. Maybe things like, oh man, another bill, or I always get parking fines, or it just seems to go as fast as it comes in. Stuff like that. We say it, and you might think it's just a throwaway line, but what it actually is you being incongruent and you not being a match to the person that you want to be. You need to become the person who matches the experience that you desire, because you are the magnet. You are the electromagnetic being, and it all starts with you. So when you shift your state of being, then your reality around you will start to shift. So your words are important. The other thing that's really important is to demonstrate that you expect to have the amount of money and the flow of money that you desire with your actions. So one example I like to use is, you know, if you go to the supermarket and you always crunch the numbers and to buy and select the cheapest type of toilet paper, that's not helpful. That's demonstrating to the universe that you have a feeling of lack going on. And, you know, yes, there is a difference. Some people do that joyfully going, oh, I've saved 20 cents and that's an extra 20 cents in my pocket. But most people do that out of a feeling of lack, out of I have to preserve every single cent I have to spend because it needs to go further because I don't have enough coming in. That's where most people operate from. So make sure that your actions are also congruent. And it's not about living a millionaire lifestyle when you don't have a millionaire budget. It's actually really helpful just to do a few little things that disrupt the pattern. So it's a pattern interrupt, because in your nervous system, you've got all these established patterns, all these ways of thinking, ways of feeling, ways of acting, ways of speaking. And when you do something, just something little, like Mike Dooley's example is he's trained himself to, when he gets a big unexpected bill, like at a restaurant or something like that, he's trained himself to say, oh, lucky I'm rich. And it's a bit of a joke. And, you know, the other person laughs as well, not sure whether he's kidding or not. But what it is, it's a brilliant pattern interrupt. So it stops his nervous system from firing off that old pattern of, oh my God, that's not enough. How much is in the bank? How could I be so stupid? Why did I have to order dessert? I'm bloody full already. I said I was going to cut back on sugar, and all that stuff that we do, right? So just the little token gestures on a physical level, which includes your words and your actions, are really, really powerful, because not only do they help to create more congruence of the state of being and the person you need to be in order to be a match to what you desire, they also act as a pattern interrupt to the old patterns that you're wanting to weaken. And that happens automatically when you use these little pattern interrupts. So just by doing that, you're weakening the old patterns and you're wiring in the new ones. And you're starting to become a new electromagnetic being. It's really powerful stuff. It seems so simple. No worries, Emma. Yeah, sorry, I know you guys thought we were starting half an hour early, so that is fine. Catch the rest on the replay. And thank you for letting me know. Okay. So, yes, I talked about act as if, make token gestures. even things like going, I always get unexpected sums of money, even when you find 5 cents on the street. Really powerful. Okay, number 5, our final one. We'll go into questions, and and I've got a spot on Money Manifestable to give away as well. Number 5 is show your money some love. So this is where we go into the practical side, right? But there's a very strong energetic component to it. In fact, everything is energy. So there's no division between, this is spiritual and energy, and this is practical 3D reality. It is all energy. And by showing your money some love, what I mean is take care of your money. Get on top of your finances. Understand your finances, right? Clean out your wallet for starters. If you've got lots of receipts shoved in there and a couple of notes crammed in the corner where there's no space, energetically, that is a really bad message to send to your money. And that's a really bad message to send out about a state of abundance that you want to live in. Take care of your money. Taking care of your money is actually the way to attract more. You want to show the universe, thanks, Annie. You want to show the universe that you can handle money. Because if you can't take care of a small amount of money, you will not be able to take care of a large amount of money. It also grows your confidence, because when you start to feel like you can confidently manage money and you can be wise with your money, then you actually open up the flow. Should we be carrying cash around? Gabby's asking. Okay, well, there's no right or wrong, but I actually think that carrying cash is a really, being in control of your money and taking great care of your money. I think having a cash system around your discretionary spending is really powerful, because you're very connected with your money. You're actually tangibly touching it. So what I actually do is, I do have a budget because I take care of my money. I use my money wisely. I know what my money is doing. I have a good relationship with my money. I know what it's doing. It knows what I'm doing. We know what our common goal is. So I do carry cash for all my discretionary spending, going out for coffee, all those sorts of things. And that way I have a direct link to my money, and I know how much I've spent, how much I've still got, and I'm energetically and tangibly taking care of it. Some people like to carry, a couple of $100 notes and just all day long go, I could buy that, I could buy that, I could buy that. I think that's really helpful too. So as a broad answer, I would say, do you know what? Whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel abundant. So, but I am a big advocate for carrying cash, both for being responsible, like a responsible caretaker of your money, and also for the fact that you go, I have money, like I'm carrying money on me right now and I can just whip it out of my pocket. And also obviously it stops the whole, beep, 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 just spending without knowing what's going on. So yes, I'm a big advocate for carrying cash around. Having said that, I know some people who have a really great money mindset and they don't carry any cash. But I know they could go further, and I actually believe that if they did become more connected to their money, they could shift what's blocking them from going to the next level. Yeah, Adair, that's great. $100 in your purse and you just go, I could do this if I wanted to. I could do that if I wanted to. Yeah, you can buy $1 million notes from Tut, Leslie, and you just keep it in your purse. And I like to have it in amongst all my other notes so that I constantly pull it out and I go, okay, 10, 20, $1 million. Oh, they probably don't have change for that. And it's just funny. And actually sometimes I do hand it over and I go, do you have change for that? And I go, oh, okay, actually I do have a 10. And again, it's one of those pattern interrupts, and it's just have fun with your money. Like, be light in your energy around money. It's really, really powerful. So this is really a very important strategy, because it intimately connects you with your money, and that extends to being grateful when you pay your bills. So I only sit down to pay my bills when I'm in a really good state of mind about it, and I like to put on a bit of music, and I have a little bill paying party, and I literally, I give thanks and I express gratitude for having electricity, for having a car that I need to register so I can drive it on the road, and that keeps the roads reasonably smooth and all that kind of thing. So all the practical things around money are very, very important, because everything is energy, everything is vibration, and everything determines your electromagnetic signature and your state of being, which then determines what it is you get in your experience. Cool. So we'll go to questions in a moment. What I'm going to do first is stop taking score point. Is this referring to tracking? Okay, so Judy, what I say about tracking is good question. Love that question, because that's a big one. So I do track my income, and do you know what it's great for? It's great for, I find, especially initially, it's great for showing you where all your blocks are. So if you start tracking your income, it's going to bring up all your blocks. So be ready and have the tools in place, whatever they may be, right? So I teach quite a few tools in effectology school to people for getting through their blocks. And, or, you know, you can do things like EFT tapping and so on, but be prepared, because when you're tracking, especially your income, it's going to bring up all your money blocks. And then that also then translates to taking care of your money, right? So when I say stop taking score, it's not so much about the tracking. Tracking to me is, like I say, either specific for finding and being able to release your blocks, or you're doing it from an attitude, I take great care of my money. But taking score is more about, I really want to have a 6-figure income, but I'm still stuck on $30,000 and it's frustrating the shit out of me. So that's what I mean by taking score. You know, you have a goal that's up there and you keep focusing on the fact that you haven't reached it yet. When you're tracking, when you're taking care of your money, that should come from an energy of, I take great care of my money. I can take beautiful care of my 30,000, thank you. And I'm so ready to take care of 300,000 or 3 million, because, hey baby, I know how to love you. So does that make sense? Does that help? So there's a bit of a difference, and yet tracking your income especially, it'll bring up all your crap really fast. So a lot of people will have little mini meltdowns when they're tracking. Have you found that, Judy? Like, have you done 100 Days of Colour or something like that and you've just had a little meltdown? Because I did the first time I did it. The first time, because I've never tracked my income before, like on a daily basis like that. I mean, I've done it, you know, more for budgeting purposes and planning purposes, but I've never done it on a daily basis. And I had a lot of resistance around it, and it was a really good thing. But you want to have, you want to have the tools in place, right, to deal with it. Otherwise, you just have a meltdown and you're, you know, rocking in the corner, and you think, well, that I'm just, you know, you just feel a little bit alone. So what I'd like you guys to do now, I'll answer more questions in a sec, but I just want to draw the competition in case anybody else needs to go, because I probably should have asked the other girls to put their name on the list. So I've got Money Manifestival coming up, and we're going to draw for somebody to get a free seat on 7-Day Money Manifestival. It starts on Monday already, right? And a few of you on the call have done it multiple times. It is super cool because it's 7 simple steps where we actually start practicing and putting in place the things that we talked about today. It's about how to get on the vibration of abundance. You know, what do you actually do? How do you get congruent? And how do you start attracting more money now? And we also start to find and ditch and switch some of our limiting beliefs around money. It's actually a lot of fun. It's really interactive, and it's a beautiful, supportive environment. And the thing with this is that this is the basics of all you need to keep manifesting and attracting more money into your life. It is not about learning lots and lots of extra things. Money Manifestival actually gives you the 7 steps you need to attract more money or anything else into your life. Because you know what? It's a matter of insert topic here. So we talk about money because often it's front of mind for a lot of people, and it's the first thing that they want to sort out. But the law of attraction and the universe doesn't care about the topic. It cares about vibration. So when you learn these skills and when you practice them, because it's very hands-on, you know, I get you straight into doing and experiencing things, not just giving you theory. When you actually get the hang of it, then you can apply it to anything. And in fact, the first time I ran it, one of the girls decided she really wanted to attract a man. She wasn't worried about money. She'd already sold a really successful business and she was comfortably retired. but she wanted a man, and it was the most hilarious week ever because she did attract a man, and actually she attracted several men through the course of the week, and it kind of just kept escalating. It was awesome. So 7-Day Money Manifesto, it starts on Monday, which is September the 11th, and they are simple everyday tasks. It takes you about 15 to 30 minutes a day. I'll be doing, I put a video up in the group with each day's task. There'll be Facebook Lives. And yeah, this stuff is really simple and it's actually fun. It just takes practice and repetition. So it starts on Monday and someone's going to win a free spot on it. So if you'd like to join us in 7-Day Money Manifesto, I ran a share challenge. So we've already got all those names on a list because we had a little share challenge where you could get some extra entries. But if you'd like to go into the draw, can you please write your first and last name in the box, in the chat box now, and Bless will add your name to the list before we draw the winner in a moment. So just type, yeah, you got it, even though I didn't feel like I made sense then. Adair, aren't you in it already? Adair, you're in Affectology school, so you get automatic entry, but that's okay. Judy, anyway, we'll put you on the list, Judy, just in case. That's cool. Awesome. Yay. And yeah, boys are welcome. So I thought, oh, one thing I'm really bad at is telling people testimonials. So I thought I'd pull out some of the things people have said about Money Manifesto. So this is what Rebecca said, and I thought that was really beautiful. Rebecca's done it, I don't know, 5 times or something like that. Gelly, I think, is on her 3rd round, and Gelly's just gorgeous and she's having lots of fun. And it's such a beautiful place where a lot of people, for the first time ever, get to experience. Kate, can you type that again? Sorry, Kate Driver, and just set it to everyone because Bless has got the list of names and she won't be able to see that because you sent that just to me. Thanks, Kate. Yeah, the beautiful thing is for a lot of people, this is kind of the first time they've been in a little community. Yes, you did get it when you bought my book. That's cool. Yeah, for a lot of people, this is the first time that they've actually been in a community of people where they actually celebrate having money, getting money, and there's no guilt and there's no, oh, will others judge me? You know, what will they think? Hang on, I'm just going to put Kate's name in the box, just making sure that, oh, yeah. Ooh. Okay, you sent it to me privately again. That's cool. Bless, just make sure you put Kate Driver on the list, please. So, yeah, for a lot of people, this is the first time they've been in a community where they can go, guess what happened today? And everyone's so happy for them. And it's just, yeah, for me, you know, because I'm so used to being in that environment now, I have to kind of sometimes remind myself that this is not the common thing for people. You know, they don't celebrate their abundance openly because they're worried about being judged. They're worried about people being jealous. And you know what? That's not going to help your money vibe. You really have to be in an environment where you can celebrate every little morsel of abundance so that you can become magnetic to more of it. So that's actually one of the most beautiful things about Money Manifesto. It's the people, it's that community. So starts Monday, it's $28 US, but the early bird is open until tomorrow afternoon because I left the early bird open way too long. So that early bird, it's just $14 US. Like it's pretty much free. $14 US, which translates to 18 Australian. And this is where you get it. Hang on, let me just put this in the chat box for you as well. miriamcastilla.com. Oh. Cool. So that link should take you straight there. You might want to click on that link and just open it if you want to join Money Manifesto so that you've got it ready after the call. And Bless, if you're ready, can you please tell me how many names in total, including the multiple entries we've got on the list, and then I can draw the winner. So I just need to know like how many numbers we've got in total. And I will do that. Give me 1 sec. So I'll do this bit and then 46. Okay, so I'm using random.org, which is No, that's fine. It takes me a while to add it all up. I normally have to do it myself. Thanks, Bless. It's like having a magic fairy on the call. So we've got 46 entries in total. So I'm just using random.org, which is a random number generator. It's really cool if you're running any sort of competition. And it's just going to generate a random number between 1 and 46. And the result is, drumroll please, 46. So what's the last name on the list that you got, Bless? If you can just type it publicly to everybody. Kate Driver. All right. Kate Driver, congratulations. So, Kate, we'll take care of that and make sure that we enroll you in. You don't really need to do anything because you should be on the mailing list. If, yeah, you're going to have a great time because you've not done it before, I don't think, have you? It's awesome. Yeah, and so the girls, there's quite a few girls on the call who have done it before. Like Adair's done, I think, 3 or 4 rounds, and a couple of the girls who had to leave early have done it before as well. It's a lot of fun, and we kind of keep. I mean, we do it for 7 days, like 7 days of putting up the video challenges, but then we just kind of keep going with the celebrating and supporting each other, and that kind of keeps going indefinitely. So it's a beautiful community. All right, so I'm going to stick around and answer any more questions. If you need to go, feel welcome. I'm just going to stop the screen share and say good day. Oh, hold on, where's my video? There. Oh, no, how do I get you guys back? Hold on. Hey, everybody. So has anybody got any questions? You're so welcome, Kate. I'm very excited to have you in it. If you've got any questions, just let me know in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask. I know we had a few as we were going, but I just want to make sure I've answered everything before I let you guys go. Oh, I totally stopped the video. Stop share. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, good. I can see you all properly again now. Any questions? Anyone? Anyone? All good? Annie, you're back. Annie, you're back. Okay. Okay, Judy. So we'll see you at Money Manifestival. See you later. Has anyone got any questions? Otherwise, I will let you all go. I'm just going to wait a moment because I have done it before. I've stopped a call and then the final question came through. Adair, is that you asking a question?
Yeah, I actually just wanted to, I don't know whether it's a question or a statement, but just say that when we are so used to being on that track of not enough, not enough, not enough, and then, like you were saying, getting on the roundabout, it just gets us faster and faster on that track, and we can try and change the roundabout. It feels really weird because when you start thinking that it's like, it's great, but it also sometimes, well, for me, feels like, is this how it's supposed to be? Because it's, so again, it probably goes back to worthiness and all that type of thing, but it's like, is it how, you know, it feels good, it feels peaceful, it feels joyful. But it's,
oh, yeah, so you mean the guilt that comes with success?
Tell me about that. Or is that another story? I'm going back to reflexology school. But I don't know if it's guilt, but it's all, it's around feeling, it's more like is this the new reality type thing?
Yeah. Well,
it's almost like you leave a whole herd of people behind you that are stuck in that thing, and it's like jumping out into a different world, really.
Yes, it's like you're jumping, and Kelly Evans is going, yes, 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 because Kelly's had a huge up level, you know, since I first met you, Kelly. I think you started with a couple of rounds of Money Manifestival, now you're in effectology school, and it kind of creeps up on you, right? And you go, oh, yeah, and then suddenly you have these moments where you go, hang on, life is actually easy and fun, and I'm kind of having a really great time, and I'm not having to stress and hustle like I used to. You know, is that okay? And yeah, we're constantly growing and stretching our comfort zone. So it is often like we hit another upper limit. So if you've read The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, you know, he talks about upper limits. And my thing is that if you get good at doing the vibrational work consistently, you're not going to hit the upper limits so bloody hard. Like, you're not going to hit this ceiling that you smack your head on and then everything falls to pieces and you go, oh, you know, because that's what it feels like. Even though you might have, you know, expanded to another level, when you hit the upper limits without having the tools in place, it's still like a bang each time, and then a bang and a bang, and we kind of lose track of where we were, you know, a year or 2 or 3 ago. We get so because we get so normalized to who we are now. And this is what I was saying, that who you are being has to be a match to what you want outside of you. And that's why when you get there, it just feels so normal and so natural. And then when you look back or you look around or you have a bit of a moment where you go, oh, hang on, I just realized that for other people that's not the case. Yeah, it can bring up some stuff. So just do your vibrational work and realize that, you know, that will keep you on track, because there's no point you pulling yourself back down to try and rescue others or help them or whatever. That's actually not serving them or you. And you know, they're on their own journey. And if they're, are we talking specifically about other people? Because that's where I felt that was going.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I guess in relation to what others are doing, but it has brought up some stuff for me about removing myself from particular networks where it's not serving me. So, yeah.
And you have to. If people drag down your abundance vibe and you around them feel like you have to apologize for being successful, it's not good for you to stay there, because you're not serving the world by playing small just to make others feel like they're not alone in their misery, because it's actually their job as well to raise their vibration, to do the work, to consciously evolve and to be all they can be. So we don't serve anybody else by joining them in the zest pit, you know. Yeah, so, and it does.
Thank you. That was a beautiful gift that you've given me today.
Yeah, but it's important, right? And you know, in effectology school, and especially in my manifesting masterclass, where we kind of meet once a month and we go around the circle and we just talk about whatever's going on and we dissect it vibrationally. There's always about 2 months in, when everyone's going, oh, life's starting to be so good and fluid and effortless, they go, if it only wasn't for my husband, you know, because so we always hit that. And what do I do about fixing him? Because now I've decided he's the one dragging me down. So we have to have that conversation around you can't vibrate for someone else.
Yeah.
You cannot vibrate for them. If they're close enough to you and they're willing, by osmosis, they will kind of, you know, be pulled along and it'll help them spark what's going on inside them. But if they're not a match, then there's 2 options. Either, and, you know, I'm not necessarily talking marriage, but if there's somebody who's down here and you're there, if it's not a match, there are 2 options. Either law of attraction will make sure that you guys do that. That's if you maintain your vibration up there, or
you drop back. Yeah.
Or you drop back. Because
thankfully, it's not my husband, but it's actually helped me make a decision that I've been trying to make for some time. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get you. And I have a feeling I know what you're talking about.
You're gorgeous, bless you.
And the thing is, when you do this vibrational work more and more, right, because it's about becoming more consciously aware and evolving, conscious evolution, you actually start to tap more into your unconscious and into the collective unconscious. So you become more intuitive and information just flows to you. So yeah, and particularly like you're a hypnotherapist like I am, you just become much more psychic, which we all are anyway, but you're just learning to kind of, you're exercising that muscle. And you just kind of know. But, yeah, sometimes we need to be told.
Thanks, Miriam.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Pop your name in the chat box or unmute yourself and yell loudly so I hear you. Or anything else you want to run by me. Doesn't have to necessarily be on exactly what we talked about in the call. You got me here. Take advantage. Everyone good? All right. Cool. Excellent. Well, thank you all for joining me. Thank you to all of those who had to leave early because they were here early. I apologize again. It was just a little miscommunicate, but we got there, and the recording will go out anyway. So if you want to watch it back and take some more notes, you can. If you're just watching the recording, I hope you enjoyed that. And oh, Linda, that's what I'm just saying. Just watch the recording, honey, and then actually, if you've got any questions and you are just watching the recording, just message me later on. Hope to see you all in Money Manifestival. If I don't, then hopefully I'll see you on the next free call, which is, I don't know, whenever, not quite sure when. But have yourselves a beautiful day and just keep smiling. Stay happy. Bye for now. See you, everybody.